So in this vlog, let's talk about pressure, particularly the pressure of being in a highly rigorous academic institution, because I feel that particularly British people, which is safe to say because I am British, I don't feel as though we are very good at talking about how we feel. So in the last vlog I told you I was ill. I actually had tonsillitis, which means that it was incredibly painful for me to talk, and I really didn't want to get out of bed. Now here is something that they don't tell you before you come to Oxford. They do tell you that it is an incredibly academic and intensive place to study, but they don't tell you that if you take 1 or 2 days off, you can potentially screw up your entire week. And upon screwing up 1 week, you could potentially screw up the next week. And by screw up, I mean that you don't manage to meet your deadlines, or you don't manage to hand in work that is of a suitable quality. To remind you guys, we get 2 2,000-word essays to do per week, which is about 3 days per essay. And this works out, according to the tutors, as a 40-hour week. Now, I've spoken to my friends at other universities, ranging from Warwick, Imperial, UCL, York, Durham, and I've got to say, none of them seem to have a workload that is comparable to Oxford. The only one that does is Cambridge. If I am wrong on this front, please do correct me, because this is not meant to be some sort of arrogant brag. It is meant to be giving you an insight into the degree to which Oxbridge is different from the other universities in the country. When I say screw up, it makes it sound like it's the end of the world. The tutors are incredibly supportive. If something happens in your life that is preventing you from doing your work, they will give you extensions on your deadlines. They will give you a crash course in the subject that you weren't able to read for that week, and they will give you resources that will provide you with the support that you need to cope with whatever is happening at that moment in time in your life. There are structures in place. It's not just a dog-eat-dog world. In spite of that, this is still Oxford. There is, if not a vocal, a silent, slight complexity of competitiveness that is not necessarily between you and other people, but it can be just with yourself. Many of us here used to be one of the best, if not the best, in our school. Rising up to challenges and dealing with huge workloads, it's kind of our thing. Those structures are in place, the stress can still mount up, and it can become very intense, especially when something unforeseen happens in your life, like falling ill. So my falling ill coincided with 5th week, which is a week that features a phenomena known as the 5th week blues. This phenomena is when people begin to feel down, because they have managed to survive halfway through the term and hopefully met the majority of their deadlines, but then comes a realization that they've still got 4 weeks left, and they have expended a huge amount of energy to get to this point. So with the realization that you still have 4 more weeks to go, 5th week blues is born. Of course, you could just sleep more, or you could manage your time really well and boss your degree. But we are people, and people have a wealth of interests, and Oxford is a place full of a huge range of interesting and engaging societies, events, lecturers, speakers, and most of all, people. The abundance of people in this place who are so incredibly interesting and talented is ridiculous. How can you not want to get stuck into exploring that world? It really is a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and this excitement means that you get completely stuck in, and you have to juggle all of the commitments that you end up signing up for with your degree. While juggling, you are hoping that nothing comes along and pushes you to make you drop all of the balls. But this is life, and life always finds a way to push you. Whether those pushes be falling ill, having something happen at home, becoming severely depressed, having relationship conflicts with friends, having a broken heart, having financial burdens, being bullied, or something as trivial as your damn software not working. These things just happen in life. It is one of the consequences of having the joy of not knowing what's going to happen next, because the thing that could happen next might be something that is unfortunate. And now it is happening within an environment that is already incredibly challenging. And that is the hidden gem to having an Oxford education. You aren't just paying tuition fees to develop an analytical power, you are learning how to cope with all of the ups and downs that life is going to throw at you. As I mentioned in my last vlog, we are the generation that is fighting on the battleground of modern life. Being given some degree of hope that you'll be fine is quite nice. So the other half of this vlog talks about balancing. How do people cope with the huge amount of stress that is here in Oxford? To be honest, to the most extent, you get used to it. Humans have an unbelievable ability to be able to adapt to their environment. In first term of first year, I was doing my degree, trying to write my essays and meet my deadlines, and I had absolutely no idea how people managed to do anything other than their degree. I was seriously concerned. Now, I like to think that I'm quite good at juggling stuff. So here is my big tip for being able to cope with doing tons of stuff. Make sure you make time to do the things that you enjoy. That might be making time to see your friends, chatting with your family, doing photography, doing drawing, making a video, drinking healthily. Surely if you are making time to do things that are stressful, you should be making time to do things that are of value to you. And if you're not, what is your life? So a common bond between the majority of Oxford students is a Tumblr known as I am having an essay crisis. And this sums up all of the pains of study in Oxford but attaches them to highly amusing memes and GIFs. For instance, when you're a fresher and you start the term too enthusiastically. Or when you miss a deadline and you see your tutor and you've yet to hand in your essay. Or when you finally finish the academic year. I am a third year, and when looking back I remember all of the good times that I have had at this university. All of the funny, quirky moments that I get to share with my peers who understand me in a way that you just can't explain to people who have not been through it themselves. It's the cliched, you weren't there, man, you don't understand. There are 190 days until my finals, approximately. I have 3 more weeks until the end of this term and the beginning of the Christmas vacation, and I'm almost completely healthy. I know I haven't fully answered the question how best to balance work and play, so questions, and maybe I should do the next vlog on how I managed to juggle my life. In the meantime, give the article in the description a read. It is called Life, Philosophy and Beer. Don't worry, you do not have to drink alcohol for the article to be of worth to you. I hope that you will get your letters through the post about interviews really soon, and I will see you on Sunday, subscribers. There are no outtakes for this video because I'm so pro. Boom. I really hope that's recorded.